You today.
I am okay. How are you?
I'm a little disappointed.
We're both a little disappointed today, which is perfect because we are teaching you vocabulary to share that you're disappointed about something on IELTS. This could happen on every section of the speaking exam
Yeah,
that you want to share that something was a little disappointing, and there's band 9 vocabulary you should be using to do this.
and honestly, this vocabulary is also great for writing task 1, for both general and
Yeah.
academic. What if you're describing, like, a graph showing sales of a product, right? And, they were terrible. And you could be like, "The performance was devastating in quarter 2," right? Or in,
Yes.
like, the letter, you're always, like, writing a complaint letter or something like that, something went wrong on an airline, this vocab is perfect. Or writing task 2, problem solution essays, argument essays talking about opinions you like and don't like. I mean, today's vocab, guys, honestly, can be used everywhere on the speaking and writing exam.
Good point. So, yes, guys, stay until the end because we are going to give you sample answers for a lot of different questions for each of these vocab terms. And get your notebook out. Be ready to add this vocab to your list because it's very impressive and is pretty flexible. You're going to be able to use it on the exam.
Exactly. So let's get to it. All right, pencils or pens out, guys. Get ready. The first word is despondent. I love this word. It's so
I do too.
it's so high level, it's so colorful. So despondent describes a feeling when you're really just like sad, right? You're in low
Mhm.
spirits because you lost hope or you lost courage, you're just feeling really just really, really down and hopeless about something. I mean,
Yeah, it's
this
a pretty profound feeling. So,
yes.
you're not going to be like, I was despondent that we were out of cereal. No, it's not that kind of disappointment. It's definitely something a little bit deeper, a stronger feeling.
It's bigger. It's bigger than cereal. So for example, in part 3, you could be asked, "Do you think people are active enough?" Yeah, no. So you could say, "I don't mean to be despondent, but no, not at all. I mean, look at the recent numbers on the obesity epidemic."
Exactly, right? So this is a perfect way to include it. It doesn't have to be like end of the world, but it does need to be something that would give you that sort of loss of hope, this
Yeah.
stronger feeling, And this is a great way to use it to say, I don't mean to be despondent, but I'm kind of hopeless about this, or I do have sort of
Yeah.
negative feelings about something.
Yeah, that is such a high level connection skill, to be able to frame your feelings like that, right? And this shows fluency, not just vocab, it shows fluency when you could frame a feeling like, I don't mean to be despondent, but that whole structure is amazing.
Yes, or you could say, "I don't mean to sound despondent," right? We'll often
Sure.
say it that way. These are amazing, very high scoring structures. Okay, the next one is devastated,
Hmm.
which means like very shocked and upset, right? It's
Yeah.
also a pretty extreme feeling. You're not going to
Big
be
feeling.
devastated that you're out of cereal unless you're like really being hyperbolic and exaggerating.
None of today's words are describing
No,
being out of cereal.
they're big feelings. Exactly.
So, for example, in part 1, this is a question you have a 50% chance of being asked. What is your job? How can you use devastated in that answer?
Yeah, you might say, I was devastated after graduating when I filled out a million applications and didn't hear back from anyone. But luckily, I now have the best job in the world. And then you can share a little bit about your job. What a great way to start that answer.
Yeah, but now I'm a famous podcast host, you know?
Yes.
Okay, all right. The next word is a little bit lighter, okay? Disheartened. Disheartened is disheartened is it's not as big as devastated, right? But it is like I'm feeling a little bit less hope than I did before, right?
Yeah, maybe I have a loss of confidence or
Yeah.
determination about something. And maybe on part two, it'll be a little more straightforward. Maybe you'll be asked to describe a time when you were disappointed.
That
How
question
could
does
you use
exist. Yeah.
disheartened for that, Jessica?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna use 2 words right now, guys. Get
Ooh, oh, I'm
ready.
excited.
Okay, so I could say, well, honestly, this is huge, and it's a bit more than disappointed, I have to say, but when I was 26 years old, I found out that I had type 1 diabetes. I was disheartened to say the least. It was devastating. I had to change my entire life. So, there, guys, were saying I was disheartened to say the least. Again, we are adding this chunk of language to make it so much more natural and fluent sounding, right? To say the least. It means like even this adjective doesn't describe the huge feeling that I had.
And I love what you've done here to stack the adjectives. This is perfect because disheartened is a little less serious sounding.
Mhm.
So to say, like, I was disheartened to say the least, and then say, in fact, I was despondent
Yes.
or I was actually devastated because these are bigger emotions.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty big disappointment.
Yes, seriously, it's a good example.
All right. So, last word for today, appalled. This is fun. So not only does this convey disappointment, but also shock, right? Like you're primarily shocked at something, and this something is very upsetting to you.
Yeah, it might be something that happens suddenly, right?
Mhm.
So I have a good example. If you're on part one, you're asked, what do you do for holidays? Or what's the last holiday you celebrated? I might share for Halloween, we always plan a neighborhood block party with a potluck and everyone dresses up. It's usually so fun. But I was frankly appalled this year by a couple of costumes worn by neighbors that were trying to make a political statement. And it just kind of brought down the whole vibe.
Oh god, like a lot. I love that we could use real life examples for you guys. Um, like diabetes and bad Halloween costumes, political Halloween costumes. All right, guys. So let's summarize the vocabulary that you have learned today for IELTS speaking and writing. Remember, these are very high level adjectives to describe negative feelings, and they are extreme adjectives, right? So, again, not about lacking cereal. The first
That's a
one.
blanket statement. None of these do we use about cereal.
So the first one you learned today, guys, was despondent. That means like you're in low spirits, you're feeling sad, you've lost hope or courage, right?
Yeah, and then
Despondent.
devastated was the next one, which is shocked and upset, but again, a
Mhm.
pretty extreme emotion.
Exactly. And disheartened, a little bit less extreme, right? You've just lost some hope or confidence in something, right? Because something not great has happened. And then the last word today, Aubrey, was appalled. What did appalled mean?
Yeah, shocked and disappointed, often something an emotion that comes upon you more suddenly.
Yeah.
What great vocab, guys. Practice answering speaking answers using this. Add them to essays, like you said, Jess. Task one letters, perfect. Academic task one. Use this vocab to boost your vocabulary scores.
Exactly. And guys, we will put all of these adjectives and their meanings in our blog. So go to allearsenglish.com/IELTS. And this is episode 1437. So look out for that, guys, and you can double check your vocabulary notes. All right. Okay, guys, thank you for joining us today. And we'll be back again on Friday.
Awesome. See you guys Friday.
Bye.
Bye.